Okay, before we start to get too far ahead, you might hear some meowing, you might hear some barking. That's right, I got animals. Anyway, this is Sunday, April 2nd, 2023. Now, what we're going to talk about today is ark. Okay? Now, it said build thee an ark. Yeah, well, you know, build thee an ark. Back then, God was talking to Noah about gathering animals, building an ark, gathering animals two by two. Well, today we're not talking about building a big old boat or ship or whatever you want to call it. Today we're talking about acts of random kindness. A-R-K, ark. Now, how do you go about acts of random kindness? Now, you look at me and say, well, you know, that don't make sense. I mean, you can't really do much kindness. You can do all kinds of kindness. Kindness comes from within, with, from within your soul, your heart. Some people just got it on the mind. Well, my kind of kindness is, hi, how are you? Good day, bye. That's their kind of kindness. Well, that's not how it's supposed to be. Okay? Acts of random kindness is like, see someone needs some help, give them some help. You know, you might have a poor person on the street. Give them $1. Buy them a sandwich or a cup of coffee. You know, stuff like that. And you may look at it and say, hey, pay it forward. Okay, that's another. Someone else will do an act of random kindness. Maybe someone's broke down on the side of the road. You give them a hand. Pay it forward. You may just find somebody crying that needs a shoulder to cry on. Or maybe someone just kind of looking down. Hey, how are you doing today? You look good. Well, can I help you with anything? I'll be back. But no matter what it is, things like that is what puts kindness out into the world. Pray with somebody. Read scripture to them. Sit and talk to them. Be kind. And go to a stranger's house that's maybe working on a bicycle, working on a car or a tractor, or out in the field. Maybe they need some help out in that field picking corn or cotton or strawberries or beans or whatever the case may be. They may be doing this by hand. Give them a hand. It don't cost you anything to give them a hand to do that. You say, well, but they're going to make money out. Are they? Or are they going to keep that and eat it for themselves or give some away to somebody? There again, food pantries. I'm not saying that they don't want to do it. What I'm saying is they don't have to do it. They don't have to give away food. Soup kitchens don't have to serve you. No, no, no. They don't have to be there. But the people that are there are doing it out of the goodness of their heart. the people that's donating the items that's used in the soup kitchens are not different than you and I. They may be, well, I don't know, they can be your neighbor down the street that went up there and gave him a can of beans or some soup, box of tater stuff. So they make sure you have that meal. May not be much, but it's something to put in your belly. People at the food pantry. Now, sometimes, now I seen this the other day. I'll buy what you have left for the pantry. I'll buy. They're not saying, hey, give it to me, which a lot of cases people do give it to them. Yeah, we're talking grocery stores or food banks that just need to get rid of the items. People that's wanting to get rid of items will take it to the food pantry. And here in return, the food pantry puts together these boxes because they usually have several of one item. I'm not saying meat, but you got canned corn, you got green beans, you got bread, you got cereal, you got mashed potato flakes. You may have pinto beans or dry, navy beans or what are those lima beans, or I can't remember what the other ones are. Um, you got black beans, you got lentils, you got rice. You know, they sometimes go and buy this so people can have it. Other times it's given to them so people can have it. You know, so what is your kind of random kindness? What's your act of random kindness going to be? You can pray with somebody and bring them to Jesus if they don't already know Jesus. Or you may say, hey, come to my church. If you're having a hard time, talk to the pastor or the reverend or whoever it may be. Don't just close them out. Don't just say, hey, I don't want to do this. Do something for them, no matter what it may be. Because, you put up wording for somebody or a prayer for somebody with your prayer groups or with churches in the areas or however you do it, even on social media. These prayer groups help people. Now, sometimes people want to get involved with that prayer group. Sometimes they don't know how. Well, you can teach them how. That's not so hard to do anymore. You got all these social medias, and you can say, hey, well, prayer groups over here or prayer groups over there. No matter what city you're in, no matter what county or state, even country. You have prayer meetings sometimes through video. And what's the harm in that? I mean, if you're doing a prayer meeting, or even if you're doing Bible study, there's groups that do Bible study over the videos. Over, what do you call this, conference calling, I guess? Everyone throws in to this. And they help people. Those things get posted sometimes. People see them and, well, I didn't know about that. So now you got acts of random kindness. You don't have to know the person to help them. It don't have to be money. It don't have to be food or drink. It can be a word. It can be a shoulder, an ear to bend, whiskers to pull. You may have a child somewhere that's just needing to talk. They want to pull on your beard, your mustache, and just say, hey, can you help me? You know, okay, well, listen to them. See what they need help with. I'm not going to say it's going to be all the time, because Lord knows it's not. Some, well, they just honestly want someone to play with them. So if you're able to, get on the ground and push a car around with them or play dolls with them. Yes, even you men out there, you can play dolls with these little girls. And sometimes little boys will play dolls. I don't see the daggum harm in it. You know, now, you say, well, I don't trust people. Well, believe me, I understand that. I really do. But you have to trust somebody sometime. I'm not saying you got to go into an alley with them, but if you see somebody in the alley that looks like they're hurt or needs help them. And I've said this before, years ago, and I'm going to say it again. What's wrong with going down to Mickey D's? Now, it used to be a dollar burger. I don't know what it is now. Picking up 10 or 20 burgers. Picking up a few bottles of water. Or a few cans of soda. Taking it out and giving it to the homeless. No, you're not doing it because you're trying to get into heaven. You got to do it from the kindness of your heart. If you can't do it from the kindness of your heart, don't do it. That's just selfish. Someone down on the luck that need gas, give them $5. Give them $3, a gallon, whatever a gallon is at the time. I mean, but do it from your heart, from your spirit, from your soul. Don't just sit there and say, hey, I won't get my rewards for this, because you ain't going to get a reward for that if you just do it like that. There is no reward in heaven for greed. But I'm giving them money. That's not greed. It is greed if you're saying I'm going to get the reward for it. That's greed. There ain't no two ways about that one. Oh, I'm going to go down there and get this guy a hamburger and fries and soda because I'm going to get the benefits of the rewards for it. No, you're not. Here's the thing about reward. Reward is from the goodness of your heart. Acts of random kindness, not acts of random greediness because you want to get in heaven for doing this. It don't work like that. You go out there and say today, well, I think I'm going to go give 5 people a couple of dollars each. I can afford it. And they need it. I'm not doing this to get into heaven. I'm doing this from the kindness of my heart, from the deep down of my soul. I want to help these people. Don't think of it as, hey, I'm getting the rewards. I'm reaping the benefits, because you won't. I mean, it's not how you get into heaven. Okay? Now, you get into heaven by saying, hey, they need it. I can do it. I want to do it. How do I know this? Well, I don't read the Bible that much because it's hard for me to read. I don't have a large print. But, you know, when you're a minister or a preacher or a pastor or a reverend, you're supposed to know this stuff. Not all do. Not all preach on it or teach on it. But I don't preach so much as I teach. Preaching becomes boring. But teaching, that's the key. To me, that's the key to happiness. Going out and teaching somebody, helping somebody, praying with somebody, listening to somebody, or just sitting down with them saying, hey, I'm here. They may not talk to you. You may not talk to them. But you know you're helping each other just by being next to them. Sometimes people just need a friend to sit with, just to look out over the water or look out over the park or watch the children play, watch the sunset or the sunrise, go fishing with. Yeah, that's acts of random kindness. I mean, you're not saying, well, I have to do this. No, you don't have to do anything. You growed. That's what I say. I don't have to do anything. I'm grown. Now, I'm an adult. I can do pretty much what I want. Within limits of what I'm able to do, but I'm grown. You know, I know what's right and wrong. You know what I mean? If you don't know what's right or wrong, you need to take some ethics lessons. You need to go back and get into church. You need to hang with people of faith. But what faith? Well, it's not up to me, it's up to you. What faith? You know, Christianity is who I say, whether it's Lutheran, Methodist, Baptist, Pentecostal, you know, I mean, those are the ones I pretty much think about. And, you know, there's more than that with faith. But I'm not talking about going to their church. I'm talking about sitting with them, listening to them, talking to them, learning about things. You know what I mean? And you know, you might say, well, what if I want to be saved? Can you save me? No, I'm sorry, I can't save you. Only God and Jesus can save you. I can bring you to the Lord. I can lead you down the path to the Lord. But only Jesus can save you. You help Jesus save you by confessing your sins. Now, talk about kindness. We're talking Jesus here. He died on the cross for all the sinners. You can say, well, I'm not a sinner. Well, yeah, you are. Oh, no, I'm not. Well, how do you figure you ain't? All people are born into sin. I mean, we're not in heaven. I'm not saying you're rotten. You're born from hell. What I'm saying is you're born into sin. You're born into life. And a lot of life is sin. I don't care if you're picking on somebody. If you walk by and just tap them on the head, a spitball, or thinking about wanting to beat them up, thinking about the color of their skin, thinking how smart or how stupid they are, especially stupid. I mean, that's sin. But another way of random kindness is praying for somebody. That's right. Praying is an act of random kindness. I'm not saying you pray for your family or yourself. I'm talking about praying for others. In the words of do unto others as you will them do unto you is true. If you don't want them to think badly of you, don't think badly of them. You want them to treat you right, you treat them right. That's all there is to it. Kindness. I don't care how they are or how bad they are, everyone deserves kindness. You say, well, he's a murderer. He wasn't born a murderer. You know, he had some tough breaks in life. But you're telling me he's good. I'm not saying he's good. I'm not saying he's bad. I'm saying he had tough breaks in life. Maybe he needs some kind words to help him through, to see the errors of his way. That don't work with everybody, don't get me wrong. It really don't. You know, some people say I'd go out and do it again. Or I'd done it just because I wanted to see what it felt like. Yeah, them people there, only them and God can make peace together. They have to make their own peace with God. I mean, that's just for them. You, on the other hand, you say, well, I don't think I really want to get involved with helping people. Well, if you can't help people, how can you help yourself? There's a whole world out there on the computer, whether it's social media, internet, whatever, down in your own hometown, downtowns around you everywhere. Well, here, I mean, we got Lord 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 towns around us. That's only what I know about. That's within close driving distance, within 50 miles. You know, some of them people could use your help. Uh, you know, it's just, I know you're saying, well, I don't want to just go out and drive to see if I can find somebody to help. Well, no, that's because you're thinking about it. You don't go driving because you want to help somebody, you know, because you're going to reap the rewards. Now, this got to be from your heart. I want to go out and drive, see if there's someone I can help today. I want to walk down the street and see if there's someone I can help today. Maybe I'm going to go down the street to see if someone can help me today. You know, it's not always about giving help. Sometimes it's about getting help. I mean, the good Lord didn't say, hey, well, I don't think I want to help anyone today. Heck with them. Anytime that there was someone that needing help, he helped. He didn't do it because of the rewards in heaven. He knew he was going back to heaven. He done it because Father God commanded it, and he done it from the goodness of his heart. Now, if you don't understand that, like I say, you need to go back to church. Or you need to get into a church. Or you need to talk to somebody from a church. You need to be saved. You need to understand this. Baptisms are no. Sorry about that. I don't remember where I was, but I accidentally hit pause, and now I lost my place. I moved the cursor away from it, so I know where I'm at now. Kind of. I know I'm sitting here talking to y'all. But, baptism. You can get baptized into any faith if you want. Or you can just get baptized to know that you've been baptized. When you say, well, how do I know for a fact I'm going to heaven? Well, have you been saved? You plan on being baptized? Well, no, I've been saved. I done that several years ago, and they told me I was okay. But, if you don't have the intent of following through, being saved is fine, grand, and wonderful. But at the same time, you need to think about baptism soon after. Okay, so you get saved today, and you got a baptism set up, but you're earnest about your being saved. And you know in your heart that you're saved. You're doing it for the right reasons, not the wrong ones. So now you got your baptism set up. Maybe it's a month from now. God forbid anything happens to you. But it is possible that you go out there and get in an accident, end up in the hospital, or God forbid the morgue. You say, but I never got baptized. That's okay. You're earnest in your belief. You were saved and you believed it in your heart. You let Jesus in. Even if you die before your baptism, you will go to heaven as long as your thoughts are pure. Oh, I'm not saying, everyone's going to have impure thoughts. I don't care who you are, where you're from, what you're about. Everyone has impure thoughts. And don't let those impure thoughts run your life or even run it. You got to get down on your knees. Well, not even on your knees. You can sit on the bed, sit in a chair, get in a closet, go into another room, be by yourself, whatever. And earnestly ask for forgiveness for those bad thoughts, bad actions, You know, whatever it is, if you ask in earnest to be forgiven of your sins, Jesus says, here you go. I'll forgive you, but you got to be earnest with it. Can't say, well, Lord, I had some impure thoughts about a naked lady today. Yeah, forgive me for it. No. It don't work like that. You got to actually mean it. Lord, I've done some bad thinking today. Yeah, I really need some help and forgiveness over this one. I'm asking you to please forgive me for these thoughts I've been having. And, while you're doing this, pray for people. Pray for your neighbor. Pray for people down the street or another city. Or let's get back on track here. But pray, ask for forgiveness. Keep in the mindset. And if you do this, you will be going to heaven. Even if you don't make your baptism because of accident or death or whatever. Yeah, now if you can make the baptism, more power to you. But if you say, well, the day rolled around, it's like, I'm not ready. Well, maybe you're not. And in that case, then maybe you need to talk to one of the deacons or the pastor or another member of the church and have them help you understand why you're not ready. Then, when you know for a fact that you're ready, get it set up. And don't just get baptized because you already set it up. You get baptized because you know in your heart that it's right. You can go in there and say, well, I'm not ready, but I'm going to do it anyway. That's not right. Well, I'm baptized. That means I can do whatever I want and I'll go to heaven. No, don't. You're baptized and you turn back around to your old ways. It's like a dog returning to his puke and lapping it up. Or, here's another better way of putting it. Let me move this over. That's like talking to someone that's, okay, like a dog. I just had to puke. Goes out and does his business or her business, whatever it is, all over the grass, and turns around and eats it. That's what it is. You get baptized and you go back to your old ways. That's exactly what it is. Okay? You don't want to do that, do you? I mean, I know I wouldn't. So in that capacity, maybe you got to think about that and know for a fact that you're ready. You go, hey, pastor, reverend, preacher, deacon, I'm not ready. I need more help on this. There's things I don't understand yet. I'm sure they'd be glad to sit down with you. And if they don't, then you're in the wrong place. They may not sit down with you right now. I mean, some pastors are pretty daggone busy. Other ones just don't want to hear it. Yeah, the ones that just don't want to hear it, those are the ones you need to walk away from. Find another pastor somewhere and say, hey, can I get some help from you? And, 9 out of 10 times the pastor will sit down and talk to you. Even if they had to make an appointment for a month later. Now, those kinds I kind of stay away from too. I mean, to me, if a pastor can't really help you, within a week, something like that, then maybe they're not the right one to talk to. If they're too busy for you, then one of the deacons can help you. If the deacons can't help you, walk away. You got to be somewhere where you can be helped. If you can't be helped, then there's no help in that church. Walk away from that church. It's not a holy church. It's a head church. Now, what do I mean by head church? It's a church that's only out there for themselves. Okay? Now, personally, I've only had one pastor that turned me away from the church. I can't say turned me away, told me not to come back. Well, I done him the favor. I never went back. That church closed because he wasn't a real pastor. He was a head church. That's all it was. Money, greed. Okay? Now, there's a lot of churches that their parishioners can't even afford to give a dime for tithing. And then preachers will help you all daggum day long with anything you need help with. They care about you. Those are the ones you need to seek. Those are the ones you need to find. Then when you're sure, actually positively 100% sure you're ready for baptism, then it'll be. You don't keep turning away from it and saying, hey, yeah, I thought I was going to be ready, but Lord, I've been up there 5 times and I just can't see myself going through with it. That's because your head's not in the right place. If your head's not in the right place, then you're not in the right place. Okay, you need to get in the right place and be right to be baptized. But that all comes from within and from being saved. Excuse me for a minute. And, the more you learn about God, Jesus, the Holy Ghost, the Bible, and the more you accept it about being saved and all that, the more you'll be ready for baptism. There's some places out there that don't believe in baptism as such as it goes. Okay? Some say, well, you've been saved, that's all it takes. I know a couple of Pentecostal churches like that does not have baptismal in them. And the ones that don't, but can help you get baptized anyway, are the true people right there. They'll try to make sure you're baptized if that's what you want. They'll make sure to get you baptized. Even if it's taking you out to a lake and baptizing you in the water, the lake, in the lake water, or in a swimming pool, even a dadgum foot tub, you know, bathtub, whatever, it doesn't matter. If you can get baptized, that's where you need to do it. And, I've seen a few of those. Take you down to the water, into the river, a stream, even, a creek. You don't have to have a baptismal in the church. As long as they can baptize you somewhere, some way, somehow. Now that's a true church. Now there's some down in Mississippi, Louisiana, New Orleans, areas that don't have baptismals, but they got the river. Kentucky, Virginia. Some of them still believe in take you down to the water, to the river, and baptizing you there, which is fine and dandy. It's still being baptized. Then you say, well, I've been baptized. Now, whenever I help somebody, I'm going to be all right for it. No. Here we go again. Acts of random kindness. It's called one act of random kindness at a time. Okay, so now we'll go back to that from the baptism even, or even from being saved. So now you want to go out and help people if you've been saved or baptized. You think because you've been saved or baptized, you help people, you get points for it. See, that's self-preservation. That's self-help. You think that you do good, you should be rewarded for it. Well, that's not how it works. Doing good is great and all that. That don't mean you'll reap the benefits. That just means that you help somebody that might someday in turn help somebody else earnestly. They will reap the benefits. Will you get a benefit for them helping somebody? No, because you've done it out of greed. No one wants a greedy person around. Okay? Yeah, you say, well, I need help. I got a couple $1,000. I don't want to spend my money. I want someone else to spend their money on me to help do what I want to do. That's greed. That's the same thing with trying to reap benefits. Get it? I'm going to go down there and help them at the homeless shelter because I get the benefits from it. I get the benefits from heaven. No, you don't. You go down there and help because you want to help. They need your help. And you want to help. Now you reap the benefits. May not be here on earth, but you get the heavenly benefits. Okay, so now you got a couple $1,000. Okay, I got to adjust here, guys. And you need work done in your house, but you want someone else to spend that money on you. Well, they might do it out of the kindness of their heart. But what are you going to do with that $2,000 that you saved? Well, I've already promised it to help down here at this house down here. And that was before my things happened. Well, see, now you promised it. You're not just doing it because you got the money and you want someone else to do it, but you already promised that money. There you go. See, that's out of the goodness of your heart. But now also at the same time, you say, well, I need some things for my house. I can't do as much as I thought I was going to be able to do down here. But I'll do something. I'll do as much as I can. There you go. That's still an act of random kindness. Okay? Or should I say that's an act of kindness? Because you're not expecting anything back from it. Just things come up that's not expected. And someone else is helping you now, they're going to reap the benefits from that because they're doing it out of the goodness of their heart. God's talking to them and helping them help you. See, that's just it. God's talking to me to go help somebody. Okay, I'm not doing it for the benefits. I'm doing it because God told me to. Thank you, Jesse. Now I can sit back a little bit better. And, you know, when God tells you to do something, you do it. And we'll talk about that probably next Sunday. Because I want to be doing these probably once a week for a while until I get back into it. But I've been away from this for 4 years. And become ordained March 15th of this year. So it's like I'm just, and plus I didn't have a laptop for a long while. My son always needed it, or my daughter. Then when I got back into the laptop, or got the laptop back, I just wasn't all that interested in getting onto it. Now I got a reason, I got a purpose to be back on here. So this is kind of my way of helping whoever listens to it that understands it, that wants to help. You know, I'm not saying everybody's going to benefit from it, because they won't. But they may get something out of it. They may say, well, that makes sense. Or they may say, you're not making no sense to me. Maybe I don't. Maybe it don't matter whether that makes sense to you. It matters that it makes sense to somebody that needs it. If you already know that all this is the way to go, and yeah, I don't care about this. Well, okay, don't care about nothing then. That's up to you. I can't tell you what to do. You growed. You know good from bad. You know right from wrong. You know, you got the devil on one shoulder, you got God on the other shoulder. Which one are you going to listen to? Ooh, that's a strong question there. Everybody's got a little devil on them they listen to. Everybody, I don't care who you are. You don't fool me. I know, because I was the same way. I got devil over here and I got God over here, or Jesus. Do they constantly fight? No, because usually Jesus is the winning person here, the winning spirit. Devil don't win a whole lot. Well, he does, and of course I got to get down and ask for forgiveness for it, because sometimes it's a doozy. But everyone has sinned and fallen short from the glory of God. That's for sure. But you can always ask for forgiveness. And, you know, don't get mad if you're on your way somewhere and you break down. Maybe it just wasn't your time to be there. Maybe there's something happening up ahead that only God knows, but you don't. There's things where you just don't want to know about. You know, Yeah, okay, you got a flat tire. Oh, well, okay, I'll get out and change it. Oh, you're 10 minutes late. So what? That 10 minutes late may be better than being life or dead, eternally dead. That 5 or 10 minutes it takes you to change that tire may be just enough time to avoid an accident or death or serious injury. So God done that for you. What have you done for him lately? You know, what have you done for anybody lately besides yourself? Because I know God always, always intervenes at the right times. Even if we don't realize why, he's there. You may say, well, I don't want this. Why you do this to me? Because you needed it. I got a house here, somewhat falling apart. Yeah, pretty much it needs soffit and fascia boards. It needs a gutter system. It needs what do you call water pipes. It needs a sewer pipe underneath the house, and it needs scraped and painted. Okay, and of course other things fixed up that's not so dire. But now we may need a roof. After a few days ago, high winds and hailstorms and downpouring rain and tornadoes are coming through. I know my porch roof needs to be replaced. I think it's just time to get rid of that porch and put a new one up. But Lord knows I can't afford to do it all at one time. And I can't expect the people that's coming to help me out to pay for all this. Oh, I'm sure they'll be able to afford some of it. But I've got to be able to come up with the bulk of it. You know, I mean, we have to come up with roofing. That's $900 alone. I've already got water line. I've got what do you call those connectors? You know, use um, you know what I mean by connectors. Connect water lines together. I don't have the sewer line yet. I don't have the roofing materials yet. But I do have the paint. I got scrapers. I got rollers. I got brushes. I got the soffit board. I got the fascia boards. I need a couple more boards for the porch to put another porch up. That's for sure. But at the same time, these people are doing it out of the goodness of their heart. They're not doing it because they have to. No, 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 no. Not because they have to, because they want to. See, they reap those benefits from heaven for doing this for people. You know, and it's just the way they are. Now, I'll get into trying to help. I may not be able to help physically. I do sit in my walker sometimes, go out there and scrape a little paint. That's all I can do. I can't stand up for more than a couple of minutes at a time to do any scraping. There's going to be places I can't reach. That's okay. Because see, where I can't reach, others will. The fascia and soffit boards I got, I may not be able to do them. but others will. I may be able to help monetarily, or I may be able to give someone a ride to town and back if they need. You know, if someone asks, yeah, okay, I'll do that. Not because they ask, not because I get the benefits from it, because they ask. They actually truly need the help. And I'll do my best to be there to help people. So, y'all think about that. And you're saying, well, uh, gas is a lot of money nowadays. Why the heck do I want to take anybody anywhere? Think about it like this. There's going to be a day come when you need help. There's going to be a day come when you can't get no one because nobody wants to help you because they got the same attitude. Gas is too expensive. Why am I going to do it for them? Reap what you sow. Act of random kindness. Not because you have to, because you're willing to. Comprende, amigo? Amiga? That's all there is to it. You got to be willing to do it, or it's not an act of kindness at all. You ain't willing to help people, why should they be willing to help you? I can't even get out and mow my lawn. I can't get out to clean up my ditch. I can't get out and do hardly anything because I have to have a walker. It's a walker with a seat in it, but I can only walk so far, then have to sit down. To get around my house, even to weed eat, take me almost an hour. Our house is only about 20 by 25, 20 or 25 foot, about 37 or 40 feet. With the garage, it's probably more like 50 by 20 or 25, whatever it is. It'll take me a whole hour just to get around the house to weed eat. Because I got to constantly move. That means shutting off the weed eater, moving, sitting down, and start weed eating again. I can only go so far. Then, of course, I get tired of holding things, like the weed eater, or standing up and moving. I have to take a break for a couple, 3, 5 minutes, maybe 10. You know, so when someone does this for me, I'm truly grateful. Do I pay them? Well, I used to until they quit on me because someone else done something for me they didn't like them people. Well, I didn't know that. No one told me that. Well, that's up to you. So now I have to find somebody else. Well, that's okay too. That's the way it's going to be. That's the way it's going to be. But I might be able to find somebody to do this for me first time, then of course pay them after that. But they'll be among the people that come out to help with the house. Okay? What I'm saying is kindness. Acts of kindness. Random is where you just go out and you're not specifically looking for somebody, but something presents itself where you can help. Random act of kindness. Okay? So now you got your act of random kindness arc. Then you got your act of kindness. They're two different things, completely different. Acts of kindness is where you go help somebody down the road here that you know. that you already know they need help, but you're doing it out of the goodness of your heart. Acts of random kindness is when you find somebody or see somebody that needs help that you can help. Okay, and you stop and you give them some help, or that's an act of random kindness compared to an act of kindness. So, two different things, two different ways. You're saying, well, they both the same thing. No, they're not. Act of kindness, act of random kindness. They're two different things completely. Act of random kindness is more in line of helping others that you don't expect to help. Or you didn't go expecting to help, but you did because out of the kindness of your heart. Because you wanted to. Not because you thought you had to. Act of kindness is down to your neighbors. They need help. You're doing it because you want to help, not because you have to. You're not doing it to reap the benefits. You're just doing it because, hey, they're a neighbor. They're a friend. Okay? They're part of the community. That's what gets a lot of people. Part of the community. They think people that's part of the community don't need nothing. They never need help. That's not true. Especially if you live in these little towns like I do. I think there's like 700 people here, give or take a few. And you don't always know when someone's going to need help. And then people don't always know they need help till it's almost too late. Then people say, hey, we understand you're going through a rough time. We're here to help. Same thing you can do. Down the street, with a friend, with a neighbor, around the community, or down the road somewhere that someone you just run across. Act of random kindness. Act of kindness. I think you get an understanding now of it. Now, I'd like to say a little tiny prayer here. Lord, bless the people that's watching this video and whoever's getting things out of it. Bless those that's just watching for no reason, it's just nothing else to do. Lord, I pray that those that's needing help and that are sick, needing a good word, I pray that you help them, that you give them that good word. Lord, bless the sick that need help. In your name, we ask and pray. Amen.